George, obviously you spoke last week about the potential challenges of managing two games in one weekend. How do you feel that you managed that?
Well, we won them both, so it must have gone okay. But no, look, I mean, I think, like I said in the last interview last week, the staff were under pressure last week. More than anything, sort of logistically, hours spent in the building, making sure there was two different plans running, two different teams getting their cohesiveness together. And I thought the staff were brilliant. Everybody. I think the players, let's say they had a clear team. They knew they were in. They knew who the opposition was. It was a bit of a conflicting way of training last week, which is good for us because we had to think outside the box a little bit. But the players were full on, fully committed, and I thought they executed really well.
And obviously on the flip side to that, the opportunities were that you got to see a lot of boys play.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody was on the pitch at 1 minute or another. So, all the squads so far have had lots of minutes played. Everyone's had an opportunity. We've obviously got one more game in the Premiership Cup. So, we're in a good spot in terms of seeing how they've grown, what they've taken from pre-season and where we stand.
And I'll just touch on the Barbarians game first of all. A pretty entertaining game and ultimately a win as well. So pleased with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think, it was a good Barbarians team and they came out the blocks fast and they had a couple of sort of wonder tries that they scored, which is good for us. But I thought the boys sort of managed the game well. There was a couple of nice moments from our lads as well, but the way managed through the game, the players who haven't played a lot of rugby came out, got a hit out. I thought some of them played really well, and we blew a few cobwebs away from a couple of lads who that was their first hit out.
And then obviously the bonus point win at Hartpury as well. A tough game, but ultimately a bonus point win and in a good position now to secure that semi-final spot this weekend.
Yeah, really tough game actually. I thought Hartpury made it very, very sticky for us for the large part of the game, and they were tough to break down and they targeted a few areas and it was a bit of a slow grind and eventually we pulled away, but I thought Hartpury were brilliant. I thought it was a great occasion for Gloucester to play Hartpury in their first ever competitive fixture, and it was a good crowd and a good spectacle.
And then moving into this week, after so many boys getting an opportunity last week, how do you sort of manage that and sort of file them back into one team then, or do you have a pretty good idea?
No, the team know they've all been allocated minutes to play. They've all had opportunities. There's some lads have come into the programme later than others, but they know it's all been distributed out. So, it's the selections for the Prem Cup were done a long time ago. Last week was the only one that we had to sort of play around with a little bit, but the rest of it's been mapped out. So the boys know that. They know when they're playing, that's their moment, that's their opportunity. So it's not, that will obviously change slightly once we get into the Premiership going forward, but they know that this was sort of marked out pretty much from the start.
And obviously new signings, players coming back from injuries as well, so that must have been extra pleasing last weekend.
Yeah, nice to see a few players, as you say, returning from injury. Nice to see Aki back out there. Singo, there was quite a few lads, and also, like you say, a couple of new signings with Zach and that getting out on the field. So I think it's been a good few weeks. I thought last week was really good. I thought we played some good rugby. I think there's a lot we can take away as always, and we'll keep pushing and trying to be as good as we can. But lots of positive things.
And obviously going into this game this weekend against Coventry, who have been going really well, but obviously thoughts on securing that semi-final.
Yeah, I mean Coventry are unbeaten in the tournament. They've not lost, so they beat Saracens in the opening fixture, and Quins just came back in the last 2 minutes to draw. So they're ferocious. They're a good team. They play some smart rugby. I think they're well coached, and they're really efficient when they've got the ball. So it's going to be a real challenge here, and I think it's a good, exciting fixture for us to take on.
And obviously it would be great to get the win then going into the Premiership season, but I know you won't be thinking too far ahead of yourself yet.
No, we're very focused on this Prem Cup. We have been from day one, and the boys know clearly what the objectives are. So, we'll get ourselves ready for Coventry, and then what's after that, we'll get ready after that.
But it will obviously give the boys lots of confidence to go into that Premiership season and beat them, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, we want to win every game. There's no getting away from that. I think any time you win is great. But we've got Coventry on the weekend in isolation. Yeah, we want to win the game, but we want to win it the Gloucester way and make sure our game is pushing forward every time we play.
Thanks, George.
Cheers.